This is Mona Lisa Baseball.
All right, we talk a lot about the A's. We've talked a lot about my favorite movie, Major League.
What's on your mind in terms of tonight?
Did you hear about the reverse boycott game?
Yeah, I did. And so it didn't really seem like a good enough or big enough event to be the news story that it was.
They pulled like triple attendance.
And that's cool.
It was like 27,000, something like that.
You know, like a big news story for a half-filled stadium is
well,
a little questionable to me.
Yeah.
And
they won.
Basically told the owner to fuck off.
They told him to sell the team.
And you're screwing us. You continue to screw us. And we're done with you.
They were telling him to sell the team. That's what they wanted.
Yeah.
But that very same day, the Nevada legislature voted for the money.
Right.
A lot of people are like, why did the A's leave? You can blame the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
You can say they were tanking. But at the end of the day, there was public money in Vegas.
Yep. Yeah, money talks. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's all political, really, because, you know, depending on what side of the aisle are, you're more likely to be on one side or the other of this issue.
Yeah, of course.
There was a bunch of programs, social programs on the table, and they all got like voted against because everyone's like, it costs too much. And then, boom, here comes the A's, and it just costs like hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
We can cover that.
Fine. That's fine.
No big deal, yo.
Homeless people, whatever.
Fuck them.
Part of the reason the A's got this to push through, they had to call a special session because this one thing they were deadlocked on. And the A's are like, all right, you guys, we're going to have a special suite just for the kids and the community and, you know, under whatever. And then they're like, we're going to do a bunch of stuff for homelessness. Only I don't think they made a specific promise, whatever. And boom, I guess that made it through. You know what they're probably doing behind the scenes? It's just greasing them palms, man. It's fucking Nevada.
It seems like a pretty greasy scenario.
Sleazy as fuck, dude.
Yeah, sleazy as fuck. Well said.
Who needs the check? Who needs the shares in the corporation, the LLC we're going to have that's going to actually own the stadium? You know, it's just all dirty. Whatever. Business. We've delved into this covering the business of baseball, and it makes me feel sick. It's really gross.
Yeah, it definitely does get you away from the artisticness of the game.
Yeah.
How interesting is the end of this season and 2024 and maybe beyond with the A's club that's leaving? And I know this happened with the Raiders, but the thing is, Raiders games would at least come close to selling out. It's going to be a full season of 4,000 people at a ball game, or that is embarrassing to the league, I would think.
I think it's really important to remember that baseball's still the most in-person attended sport because they play so many games. So when you compare football to baseball, it's like, well, you can say they sold out the football game, but then if you think about it, that week, if the A's are in town, you know, even though it wasn't full, it was the same number or more.
Yeah. That's a good reminder.
Getting back to this reverse boycott game, right?
Yeah.
All right, 27,000. That's about triple, roughly, what they normally pull in. Rob had a news conference the next day.
I might have heard this, yeah.
Yeah, he was asked about it. And he's like, you know, I didn't see it. Didn't see the game. You know why he didn't see it? He was having, dinner with the owners, who are also not watching the game. They're having dinner with Rob. Yeah, so then Rob goes on to say, oh, I'm really glad the A's were able to pull something close to the average attendance of an average MLB game. That's great. I'd love to see that.
I'd love to see his face as he's saying that.
He got a lot of flack for that because people were like, oh, come on, Rob, dude.
You're a schmarmy little asshole.
All you have to say is, we love to see the fans come out. That was great.
Yeah.
That's all he has to say. But he's having dinner with the owner, and they're calling the owner out hard. So they're best friends or something. I guess he took it personal.
Yeah, he got a shot in.
You know, he's like the most hated commissioner or of all of the big sports. He's definitely the most hated. I can say that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. NFL guys had a lot of heat, but I don't think Goodell has tore down the sport the way this guy has. Manfred, he's such a... there's something about him genuinely, to me, that is not a lover of baseball. There's
something disingenuous about him. He just doesn't ever...
Yeah, I think it's that.
Everyone sees through it. It's like pretty transparent. Big channels on YouTube and stuff, like they openly mock him. He's openly hated. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why you see him smirking and stuff. It's like, yeah, I know you guys hate me. It's like, whatever.
Yeah. And he's laughing all the way to the bank, I'm sure.
All the way to the bank. Profits are up, you guys.
What kind of profits are up?
I don't have any numbers for profits today, but
Okay.
I can talk about money in this way.
Let's talk about money.
Let's talk about the A's in terms of their record versus how much they're spending.
Oh, great.
And how we can really prove that the A's are tanking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could call it bad luck, but I know this is really inflammatory. It's like, you mean they're losing on purpose? I'm like, yeah. Have you seen the movie Major League?
Right.
Okay. This is the same thing.
Not the players, but the team.
They're not going to start winning after the All-Star break. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Actually, wouldn't that be awesome if it did? Oh my God. They can make another movie about the A's be even better than the first one.
Right.
Would you like to guess who's got the lowest payroll in all of baseball? Would you like to guess?
Oh, man. Okay, I got two teams. I'm going to go with my first guess, which is, I have a feeling I'm wrong, so just say yes or no. Is it the A's?
It's definitely the A's, man.
Definitely the A's. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
Rays were
yeah.
second on my
it's
list.
the A's. They're
Okay.
They're in the basement.
Basement, yep.
I'd like to point this out. The next two teams with the lowest salaries are the Baltimore Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, both doing well.
Now let's look at the AL standings, okay?
Great.
The A's are trying to break the record for the most losses in MLB history.
Yep.
Okay. They're in the basement. Their winning percentage just squeaked up above 250. It was below that for a while. They actually went on a winning streak. Good job, A's.
Okay. All right.
6-4 in their last 10, and that's like the best last 10 they've ever had this year. Okay. Now, the Rays, they're 51-23.
Ooh.
They're on fire. The Orioles, right behind them, 43-27, with roughly a little bit bigger payroll. I don't know how you look at this and you don't say the A's are tanking. They're tanking.
So when you say they're tanking, are you referring to the players on the field?
No. I'm saying that no one in the A's organization can answer the question, are you guys putting together the best team you can in good faith?
In good faith, yeah. What was the line from the A's game? Under Mendoza becomes like a anthem or a mantra for the team.
I remember sitting down and looking at that lineup and looking at all these guys and their averages and all that stuff. And I just was like, this doesn't seem real. I went to the A's game going, okay, yeah, the A's aren't having a really good year. I think they're tanking. I was afraid to say it at the time. Now I'm saying it all the time.
Yep.
And when I saw that lineup on the giant Jumbotron, I really did think that I had fallen through the rabbit hole. I can't imagine that they don't have prospects that can hit 250. I just can't believe it.
I know.
I don't believe that they don't have a guy who can hit at least 230.
Right.
Like,
right. You participate in the same draft all the other teams participate in. We know you got people.
Right, but they have him in the minors so they can manipulate his playtime and all this. Just milk all the money you can get out of the sport.
Yeah, trade him for money, I'm sure. Uh-huh.
Dude.
Yeah, you can kind of get visions of Major League back. I remember one of the funny lines of the movie was they're reading through the potential roster for the next season, and someone goes, "This guy here is dead." And the female owner goes, "Cross him off then." Like, this isn't hard. And when you're looking at that lineup, yeah, it's not that far. There's something in your mind going, all right, I haven't been following that close, but I'll know some names. And you just go, no. I don't know anyone. Never heard of any of these guys.
You know, Bryce Harper was playing in Oakland yesterday.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, so Bryce Harper's playing in Oakland yesterday, and he's from Las Vegas. He's famously from there. He claims it. He didn't want the A's to move there. He's like, I don't like this.
Oh.
And you know what? 2/3 of the population of Las Vegas, according to this one poll, didn't want the A's to move there either. They were concerned about traffic. The Raiders had just moved there. It cost a bunch of money. You know what they do in Vegas when they're worried about taxes? They just put a new hotel tax, and then that only applies to, people who are visiting, and they're the ones who pay for it. So there's this built-in mechanism in Nevada to just pay for shit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just get the visitors to pay for it. They're going to expand. Have we talked about this? There's going to be 2 new teams, probably one in Nashville and one in Portland.
No.
Yep.
2 new teams, really?
Yep. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Whatever. It's more baseball. We like more baseball.
Well, that's interesting. That gets you to double the original 16 teams.
It also puts one division in each league with 6 instead of, I mean, we finally got it all evened out, and then now we're going to do
We
this.
got it uniform.
Yeah, it's like,
Yay.
come on, man. Whatever, it's fine. I'm for expansion, but we've said this before. Why do we even have leagues? Like, just stop it with the leagues. There's no reason to have leagues anymore. So just break up the regions however you want, as long as there's the same number in each and the playoff structure makes sense. I'm fine with it, whatever.
I want to know why, in general, you're kind of would say for expansion. What is it about expansion that makes you nod your head?
Okay, well, we're getting rid of these minor league teams. So why would I be opposed to more major league teams if they can field a good team? I'm all for it. The people in Nashville want a major league team, so give it to them. People in Portland want a team, so this is great. People want baseball. Let's give them baseball. Well, American hardball.
Yeah, I can understand that angle. Just to me, it's inevitably watering something down. And
you're still not used to the expansion.
The Devil Rays, yeah.
I'm still the Rockies. Yeah.
I'm still hung up on the Devil Rays. Rockies are kind of... You know what my main beef with the Rockies is?
Go ahead.
After all this time, I've had 30 years now with Rocky baseball. And still my main beef is they built this beautiful stadium and it's just too small. It just would have made baseball a lot more interesting if center field wasn't 415. It's like,
right.
You're in fucking Denver.
Where the air's super thin. Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of being 380. And that's just not what the sport needed. It would have been a perfect opportunity to have large dimensions and they still would have had plenty of home runs. And you would have got to watch these speedy outfielders race through this humongous outfield.
Yeah.
And instead, it's just, I don't know.
Real missed opportunity.
I've heard it's beautiful. I haven't been there, but it just would have made baseball more exciting. And it's just the one stadium that's way up in elevation. So it would have been a little more unique. It's just not unique.
Yeah.
That's my beef.
So
they're like 90% real team in my mind. After 30 years, you're like,
okay.
Most of the way there.
All right, Rockies.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, 90%.
Diamondbacks.
Well, they're newer.
No, Diamondbacks were newer. What was it? It was Rockies and Marlins. Yeah, Marlins are about 90% as well. Devil Rays will get, 85%. Diamondbacks maybe 75%.
Dude, the Rays are so legit. Like, I'm a huge Rays fan. Because of what they're doing with their payroll. They're beating the Yankees with... Yeah. They're awesome. How can you not love this team?
And that's banging, but... I can't help but criticize a team with that lame of a ballpark. I can't look past that in terms of like the totality of the team. It's just it's depressing.
Speaking of lame ballparks, we are going to American Family Stadium, a ballpark that Rob Manfred has said needs like $10 million in renovations in order for it to be, quote unquote, a major league facility.
I heard that line and it made me think, wait a minute, it's brand new. This is how stuck in the past I am. Anything that's 20 years old in my mind is brand new.
Well, maybe they didn't build it with quality. Maybe they kind of built a lot of it cheap.
That's a good point.
We have a building in San Francisco that's literally falling over. It's tilting over. It's about to fall.
Oh, no.
That's hyperbole. It is tilting. It's alarming. It makes headlines like every couple of weeks because it tilts more and everyone's like, what are we going to do?
Not good.
Freaking skyscraper falls over in the middle of downtown.
Yeah, it sounds bad.
They tried to fix it. They made it worse.
I remember an old San Francisco story where a crane, it was up at the 50th floor or something, and the crane fell off of the building and crashed.
Oh my goodness.
Talk about a shit show. Talk about people like gulping. Like, oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Still in my
Critical
mind.
failure. I mean, these things happen. Yeah, and these days when they happen, they're all caught on film.
Yeah. Is anyone really thinking about the difference between a stadium's going to cost $1 billion to make and $1.3 billion? And you're like, those sound the same, but I think speaks to your point exactly.
Think about how much money.
1.3 is much more embezzleable.
Yeah, the bigger the project, the more people can line their pockets with it. Yep. That's just how it goes.
Them's the facts.
So the only obstacle now for the A's to move is they just need 75% of the owners to vote for the relocation. And I don't see any reason why that won't happen. So the A's are gone.
That'll definitely happen.
They're gone.
So A's are effectively gone. We know that vote is not going to be.
This was the last nail in the coffin. Yeah.
So there it is. Whew. Tough decade for Oakland. Lose 3 teams.
Now the conversation shifts to where are they going to play next year? Where are they going to play the year after that? And where are they going to play the year after that? There's talk of like playing in Sacramento.
Really?
There's talk of them playing. They have a minor league team that's already in Vegas, but that you can't do day games there. And so that's a big problem.
No.
It's too hot, guys. You can't play day games.
What a great opportunity to tell you about the hottest earth temperature I've ever felt in my life.
Tell me.
Driving to Las Vegas, late July, smack dab in the middle of baseball season.
Yeah.
And what was really amazing about this driving wise is you have to go up a hill if you're coming from the west. There's only one way to get there, Highway 15. And so
this is bat country.
More or less. Yeah, it's certainly bat country. But you got to climb a hill before you kind of crest and coast down. And car after car, about 1,000 times newer than mine, was pulled over because it was overheating. And I was drafting a semi truck, just basically saying, come on, baby. And my girlfriend, who's now my wife, was just going to the cooler, grabbing handfuls of ice and putting it on her forehead.
Oh, right.
And she kept looking over at me going like, what are we doing? What are we doing driving out here? I've been on a lot of hot temperatures in my life. This was definitely the hottest. And the way I would describe it to someone, if you could only use words, is it felt more like an oven than earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how you know.
It's the desert.
So this is a baseball town.
That's the desert. Yep.
Becoming a baseball town, huh?
You've been there. I've been there. It's a fucking desert.
Well, I guess they're pulling it off in Arizona. So if you could pull it off in Arizona, you could pull it off in Vegas.
Well,
but
speaking of being on the hot seat, have you heard the story what happened to Glen Kuiper?
Yeah, let me tell you what I know. And hopefully this won't be a hot mic situation for us. And
Glen Kuiper he was the announcer of the A's.
Oh, right. That's even more interesting. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, he was like the A's guy. He'd been there the longest.
Forever. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is how it was described to me. He wanted to say Negro Leagues, but he went N-word instead on accident.
Yeah.
And
I honestly believe he did it on accident, but I mean, I don't really.
Well, I believe that too.
Okay, so if he did it on accident, and then even like the guy who runs the museum is like, it's cool, whatever, we forgive him. If he said it on purpose, then he should have got fired immediately, like just like on the spot. But
yeah, sure.
I just don't believe that he did it I don't believe he did it on purpose. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, the guy who was telling me the story was saying you put these announcers in a situation where the words Negro Leagues is already racist in this culture, but yet that's its actual name.
If anyone thinks he said that on purpose, they're delusional, because why would he tank his own? Of course, he's going to know it's going to tank his own career.
Yeah, sure.
This is ridiculous. He got fired. He lost his job. He's gone.
Done.
I don't understand. Maybe behind the scenes he was a racist, and maybe that's why.
Like it finally came out.
Then that's weird that you're going to fire him from something that everyone knows it was an accident. I don't know, man.
Right.
Tough to be an A's fan, dude. Like, it's so hard to be an A's fan right now.
Everything's against you right now. Nothing's going your way. Yeah, he's going to end up, well, he's not as famous, but I was going to say he's kind of in the Michael Richards camp. But
I think what Michael Richards did was way worse.
They're going to be looked at in the same camp.
That's not fair to him. That bothers me.
But it's not fair. Exactly.
I don't like this.
They couldn't be more different. I think he's kind of shoulder to shoulder at the moment because it's fresh.
As a dude who's listened to audio, hundreds and hundreds of hours to audio, it sounds like he tripped over the word to me.
Yeah. Okay.
And it came out sounding like that really horrible word. Okay.
How did he recover the next second or two?
So he kind of gulped and didn't say anything, because in his mind, he's like, everyone's going to know that I was trying to say that word, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows I would never say that out loud. And then boom, that was his last game.
Oh. Mm.
Yep. He's done.
Poor fella. What else can you say?
We've said a lot about it. I don't want to dwell on it because it's,
it's gnarly.
Okay. The more you dig into the A's history, look, the A's did some wonderful things in my lifetime. Just amazing stuff. They went through a lot of different owners during that time. And, you know, some of the ownership situations were really, really good for the A's, and some of them were really, really bad. And some of them were good just because they came after others that were good, and the organization was so strong that they reaped the benefits years afterwards.
Yeah.
But they were really like horrible real estate investors who didn't know anything about baseball, really. Or even care about the fan base, you know. And the A's have had so many dismantlings. There's so many teardowns, whatever you want to call it. Like every time, if you do that every couple of years, like you're killing your fans. And everyone knows this.
Why is it that all the people that buy the A's have a similar type of mindset, which is spend the least possible and make the most? Now, I know owners want to make money.
Low attendance.
But, okay, so they're kind of put in that position.
There's been good ownership groups, and there's been mediocre ones. Like the A's did amazing things in our lifetime. They did things no other team have done, including win 3 in a row. And, you know, sweep a World Series. They put together some amazing, amazing, amazing teams.
Absolutely.
In the past. And then they got sold, and they got sold again. And then the pandemic hit. And it's never been worse. Like, if you think they're fielding the best team they can in good faith, then I would like to debate you.
Yeah, I don't feel that.
And this guy that owns the A's, he never talks. He never comes out. He never makes any statements.
Yeah, why did he want to own the A's? What the fuck?
Money. To make money.
It's all going to work. He's going to go to Vegas, get a brand new stadium, and then he'll sell for $10 billion. Be like, oh my God, that's so much more than we even realized franchises are worth. I guess that makes the Yankees worth $30 billion.
Rob's having dinner with them, and they're like, you're going to kick me back, right? Of course, Rob.
Yeah.
Of course.
Ugh.
You're my friend. You helped me get this deal done because you pushed Reggie out.
You're turning my stomach. Turning my stomach right now. Oh, it's so filthy dirty.
I know.
God.
I hate this.
Well, money's taking charge of this episode.
We have to talk about the A's, though.
We do.
I really feel like we do.
I agree.
I feel like sometimes this is the last thing I want to be doing, is because it's so depressing. And the more...
But it's definitely happening right now.
The more layers you peel back on the onion, the more rotten you find it is, you know?
Yes. The further it gets from the beautifully turned double play.
I was having dinner with the owners. Oh, there was a game? Oh, no, we didn't see that.
I guess I'm going to have to watch that one, too, just to see his face.
Mark my words. If I ever own a major league team, I will watch every single game live from my awesome box, okay? Every single game, I will be there.
Yeah.
No exceptions. Unless I'm in the hospital, dude, I'm going to be there. If I own a team, I'm there.
Definitely. I can't wait for you to own a team, man. This is great news.
All right. Do you want to...
How did you make your first billion, by the way?
You know, Las Vegas now has 4 pro teams, and Oakland has 0 now. Well, I mean, when this all plays out.
Wait, 4 pro teams. So that means Vegas must have a soccer team?
Yep.
Soccer, hockey, football, baseball.
Well, I mean, yeah, they would have.
They will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Oakland, it's so crazy because growing up as kids, Oakland was so the real deal. You never would have thought that there'd be an exodus from it. Warriors games, you just go to Oakland. And it was LA Raiders when I was a kid, but then when there was talk that they were moving back to Oakland, my dad would say, oh, well, that's where they're supposed to play. I'm like, well, he goes, oh, no, they used to play here in the 70s. It was great. It's so funny what's going on with Oakland, where it's been this sort of sister city, but it always had its own thing going on. But right now, it's really just, I don't think a town's ever lost 3 pro sports franchises. That's kind of mind-boggling.
The A's tried to move to Fremont. They tried to move to San Jose.
Yeah.
They had a case go to the Supreme Court because the Giants.
Why did
the Giants control San Jose?
The Giants kept that from happening.
They have a AAA team in San Jose, actually. I think that was why.
Okay, they do. Giants do. Yep. So that was the thing.
And the A's they were going more north and east. Like, I mean, they have a minor league team in Vegas. They've had one for a while there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Connecting some dots here.
Well,
getting to the heart.
But
yeah, that still seems a little weird that the Giants blocked the A's because they kind of screwed them. I mean, I don't know how close it was, but to be like, oh, we have a minor league team in Fremont.
in San Jose.
Nah, you can't move. That seems really weak.
The Fremont deal fell apart for other reasons, but
Okay.
because Fremont is still Alameda County, so that's still A's. But once you cross that border, which, by the way, there's no border there.
Yeah.
The houses look exactly the same on either side of the street, and a bunch of tech bros live there, and like Indian families. By the way, if you want good Indian food, go to Fremont, go to that area.
Definitely.
So yeah, they wanted to move to San Jose, and that
Cupertino.
actually could have worked, dude. You know, and I'll tell you this, if I had grown up in Berkeley, which there's like a good chance I could have because my parents moved around, I could have very easily grown up in the East Bay. I would have been the biggest A's fan in the world. But because of where I grew up, which was in Giants territory, I became a huge Giants fan with a lot of respect for the A's. But it would have been flopped if my parents' life had gone a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, only reason I'm a Giants fan is my dad was a Giants fan. Once you get started, there's no switching. Well, I guess there could be. Not for me. Not when they have Will Clark.
I think most baseball
no switching
fans have a team that's their team. And then there's a big difference between someone who has a team and someone who like follows the sport more broadly.
Very different. Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, traditionally they would never let Vegas have a sports team because they were worried about gambling.
Mm-hmm.
And these days it's like there's tons of states that have gambling now. So yeah.
They're all for it.
Yeah.
They're basing the future of sports on gambling, I think. Lousy.
Bro, I mean, how many YouTube channels that talk about baseball are sponsored by DraftKings? What is that? That's gambling.
Yeah, that's as much as I know about.
We will never be sponsored by DraftKings.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. We're not going to be sponsored by DraftKings.
We can both make that promise right now. We will never sell out.
Yep. If I could shake your hand, I would.
This doesn't seem real.
No big deal, yo.
Oh, come on, Rob.
Hire your friends.
Whatever. Business.
What are we doing?
Go ahead.
Maybe it is okay to sell out, so to speak, if you sell out to the right source.
Right.
Maybe not. I'm not totally sure about that.
John Kruk, if you want to invest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're talking.
We're here.
I'm down. I'm down with his circus comments. Everything he was saying. I'm just going, preach on, brother. You couldn't be more right.